Thank you so much for tuning in, and welcome to your very own Try It Before You Buy channel with your host Karamullah Kadwani. Today is all about Nefs from the house of Nishane, a niche Turkey-based perfume brand. This will be an in-depth review, so before we get started though, if this is the kind of the content you like watching, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, as the channel and I are in its very infant stages, trying to bring to you the best of my overviews, price points and alternatives where possible. 80% of my viewers still haven't subscribed. Subscribing to my channel, watching the ads and commenting helps the algorithm, and in the long run, inshallah, by the will of Allah, will help the channel. I am not on the free bottle brigade and don't have any other means of acquiring these fragrances otherwise. Let's just get it out of the way by saying this may not be for everyone. Very polarizing and complex. One may not like this the first time they try it. For the true fragrance connoisseurs, and to say the least, though Nishane is known to be a brand of which most compositions have become legendary and a majority of the people like their fragrances, they'll do these one-off challenging compositions that truly cater to only the hardcore frag heads. Fragcom's darlings may include Fan Your Flames, Ani, Hashivat, 100 Silent Ways, etc. This is one of the more challenging ones. A few that I can think of right off the bat are Africa Oliphant, which I do own. It's the bottle here. That's Africa Oliphant. We are far away from the screen. I might show you a close-up when I show you the presentation for Nefs. So Africa Oliphant, Onu Tamam, Amber Calabria, and Amber Done Differently, Sultan Vetiver, etc. Nefs by Nishane is coined as an amber vanilla fragrance for men and women. Nefs was launched in 2019. The nose behind this fragrance is Chris Maurice, one of my favorite perfumers. Top notes are honey, saffron, fig, violet and sage. Heart notes are rose, osmanthus, nutmeg, jasmine and geranium. Base notes are agarwood, oud, whiskey, vanilla, leather, amber, gurgeon, balsam, cinnamon and cedar. Having said that, all the notes are chaotic and ideally shouldn't make any sense. Not for the mass-pleasing designer or blue fragrance fans. Not taking anything away from that demographic, but it might just be the younger audience who've just got into using perfumes, and so we wouldn't blame them, right? Imagine a gradient that starts with this light, very light shade, and that goes in darker and darker and darker until it extremely blacks out towards the end. That's the only way I can best explain this beauty. It's very polarizing. So though I refer to this one as a perfect 10 on 10 beauty, it so wears like a beast. The only bright note here is the fig note this masterpiece opens with and lasts for just about the first 2 to 3 minutes. This would be the first turning point of this fragrance, where it immediately starts unveiling the darkness that envelops the entire composition. Due to its extremely hefty price tag, this may not be for everyone, but a true masculine if you were to give it a chance. So it retails for about 2,500, give and take for a 50 ml. The concentrate is extrait de parfum. But you must wear the fragrance, don't let the fragrance wear you. Opens fruity with a bright like fig note, but you quickly get hit with the spicy saffron. Saffron blended with the violet, making it an extremely masculine wear. Though, of course, Frag-dicted says it's a perfume for both men and women. This is just my humble opinion. A few violet-based reference masterpiece fragrances that come to mind are Fahrenheit by the house of Christian Dior, giving it that petrol-like gasoline feel, and the modern-day legend Portrayal Man by the house of Amouage. Sage, contributing to the herbaceous-like undertones. 8 to 10 minutes in, you get the honey, Definitely not like the honey in Nefs by the house of Zerjov, which I'm not the biggest fan of. It's more of a picturesque honey, raw like natural honey. May remind you of tobacco honey by the house of Guerlain, La Art La Matière collection, where the honey is the star of the show, and I love that fragrance. The honey here with the oud note acts as the backbone on which a plethora of other notes sit and stays well into the dry down on this rather complex composition. Back to Black by the house of Kilian Paris, where you get a dark experience. If I could give you an example that you could easily relate to, if that's your dig. Very different from other Nishane fragrances, which a majority are likable from the get-go. Hard to categorize this in the beginning. This may take a few ways even for the very experienced nose to fully understand, so don't be quick to dispose it. Spicy, dusty, woody, added by nutmeg and florals. Florals, I'd argue, bringing in further interest to this fragrance. So you have the note of osmanthus, and it brings these tea-like nuances similar to Aujan, experience from the house of Parfums de Marly. Rose and geranium nicely embedded within the osmanthus and jasmine though. The quality is unparalleled. This is the part of this one that will get you the most compliments, as it is addictive, where you would want to keep going back to sniffing it over and over again. The opening is chaotic, but then settles down to a floral, woody, spicy oriental. Now, this is where the fragrance truly shines for me, as the note of whiskey makes an appearance. Oud also comes in with the whiskey note. The leather makes this a fall-winter appropriate evening wear. So you really need to wear this one to fully understand the composition. It is niche. For sure, it's spicy, boozy, woody, and all these facets dampens the florals. The longer you wear this, the darker the composition gets, and that's how I like my fragrances. Evolution and how this fragrance progresses keeps your interest peaked at all times. This will eventually grow on you as compared to many of the other Nishanes. Kingpin, mafioso, cigar, booze, lounge, boss-like vibes. So I'm really glad I added this to my humble collection. It has this intoxicating cinnamon-like ambery dry down. This is in Hashivat, and therefore try it before you buy it. But do give it a full wear, give it a fair chance, and this one might definitely grow on you. For me, it was rather love at first sniff. You really need to smell a lot so you can grow into your fragrance journey. And I bet fragrances that you didn't like at first, maybe the ones that you love the most, as your nose adapts to, and your taste changes over a period of time. For a very mature audience and very few. So let's get into the presentation for a bit, shall we? So, you might have noticed a couple of bottles lying around on the table. The only reason and the reference points I wanted to make was these were a few of the more complex, challenging fragrances that I have. We have Oud Assam by the house of Rani J. I hope you can see this. That's a small 50 ml because they did not have the 100 ml. I think they ran out of juice. That's Ambre Loop, also by the house of Rani J in 100 ml, which is a rather challenging amber composition. We have Tea Habanero by the house of Rani J, which is a tobacco-based fragrance. We have Nefs. We have Nefs from the Prestige collection from the house of Nishane. Also, the other two fragrances that come in this Prestige collection are Shem and Mana. Mana is basically a beastlier version of the very popular Ombre Nomade from the house of Louis Vuitton. Shem is a woody composition. We have Iron Duke by Beaufort London, which I really do love. It's a leather composition that's slightly animalic. etc. That's Africa Oliphant, another composition that is rather complex and challenging from the house of Nishane. That's one of the more challenging ones. We have Nefs here. Let's quickly get into the presentation. So it comes in a sleeve like so, which is rather detailed and beautiful. You have the name of the perfume up top. I'm sorry, I missed that out. Let me see if I can get that in. You have the name of the perfume on top. This one is the box for Mana, as Nefs and Shem have found a place where I cannot get them out of. They're inaccessible. We have the name of the perfume and a few other details on the sleeve. It does mention Extrait de Parfum. As you open the sleeve, we can now access the box that comes in this leather-like textured. I'm sorry, I do have a problem pulling these out time to time. Okay, so once you pull this out of the sleeve, it's a slight design pattern going on in the front. You have kind of a design on either sides that continues to the top of the box. That's what the fragrances are housed in. You have the Nishane, like the caps changed over the recent times, and so the newer bottles have that's the cap design that Nishane comes with. It's beautiful. It's housed in this rather luxurious packaging, and so I prefer actually keeping my bottles in display with the box open, as it gives it a very kind of a luxurious feel to it, right? But with the number of perfumes that I have, being a fragrance connoisseur, it becomes difficult to keep all the perfumes with the bottles, and so for convenience sake and for storage sake, I do keep my bottles just the way they are. This is what the bottle looks like. It's rather heavy. It's actually rather heavy, and it does feel like gold in your hand. Crafted. They've taken a lot of time, I guess, designing these bottles. You have the cap, the beautiful cap. You have a gradient, a color gradient that comes with the bottles. This one happens to be black, a dark gray, black kind of gradient housed in this. Shem, I think either Shem or Mana. Yes, Shem is this green kind of gradient that I can see through the light, but I'm not sure if you'll be able to. I think you can, right? With the light coming on slightly. See the green, the bottle is green, and this one is Mana. This is a blue gradient bottle, if I may. The bottles are luxurious, the packaging is next to none. The price point might be something you want to consider. Do let me know your thoughts. Also let me know if you already have this gem of a composition in your arsenal, or if you're interested in at least giving it a try after watching this review. Do share your experiences and don't forget to comment. Feel free to ask me any questions and I'll try to answer them to the best of my capability. Until the next time, your host Karamullah Kadwani signing out.